deep within. Glow, glow, let the colors flow. Patterns of your heart in the aura show. Feel alive as the rhythms tell the story of your light in the bio well. Fingertips connect to the cosmic stream. Charts of hidden forces sparkling like a beam. Every shift of shadow, every burst of spark reveals the magic glowing in the dark. Glow, glow, let the colors flow. Patterns of your heart in the aura show. Feel alive as the rhythms tell the story of your light in the bio well.
Good evening, everyone. Hope I am audible to all of you. And today we will be focusing on the latest development which we have done in our Bible integration software. Also, we will go step by step of how to get the authorization code from the company, and also we will see what are the new developments which we have done and which is going to become a prime development part, the update on July 10th. July 10th, the latest update is going to get released, and this is having enormous amount of changes, and also to make our life easier, the practitioner's life easier. So let's move on with the demonstration first, and then finally we will open the channel for question answers, where I will be able to clear some of your doubts live. And of course, those who are already using the application, you find any difficulty, you can please get back to us, and we will be able to solve that at the earliest. First and foremost, what is all required? What is about this application? Why is this application so useful for a practitioner? See, number one, we all know that we do Bible scans across the globe in different countries. We perform this Bible scans, and remember, when we perform a Bible scan, we get data, and this data is distributed among different tabs, and we have our own interpretation procedures which we follow for these particular tabs. As a trainer, I can tell you that each and every tab gives you enormous amount of information. The information which we gather from Bible is extreme. So it is not just looking at some energy, some imbalances. No, it is to understand the response given by our patients, response given by the clients. So what is that? And what exactly does this data tell us? What exactly does the finger impression tell us? So this is something which is hidden. It has to be unearthed with extreme levels of experience in the application, in the energy field, and also understanding the meridian principles, and moreover putting it into clinical practice. I have been using Bible since 2013. I have looked into more thousands of cases, and all clinical cases, of course. I have started with Bible 1, then 2, then 3, and I have seen the development happening in the device itself. It's fantastic. But what was lacking as a trainer when I observed was the interpretation part. Observing each and every practitioner who is expert in his own field. It's not that they are beginners, they are experts in their own field. But with BioWell, there was very minimal interaction which they were able to produce with the patients. And tabs like yin yang, tabs like analysis, and several other applications, what was otherwise added in Bible later gave too many information which was not adequate enough for the practitioners to interpret. Hence, with wide amount of experience and also the training processes what we perform from our foundation, we thought we will generate an application which can do the interpretation for the practitioners. Now remember, each and every patient or each and every client is a customized entity. He has his own psychology, has his own physiology. So there is no two combinations of psychology and physiology which is there in two people. It's not possible. Which means you cannot have a closed software to work here. Just to say that if it happens, do this, if it happens, do this. No, if and where is not going to work. It is an interpretation. So it has to be interpreted intelligently, at the same time under the governing the laws, obviously, and also the practitioner's interest. So we started using artificial intelligence, AI, and with AI we were able to develop tremendous interpretations. In the beginning stages, my students know, we conducted master classes, we guided them, we taught them how to work with AI and how AI can be beneficial in Bible. And when Dimitri was there, obviously we had a discussion with him also, and later on we started doing the translations and we started distributing reports, etc. But now, with all this put together, with the power of artificial intelligence, we have built a system. It is not a software, it is not an application, it is a whole system. And this whole system can help a practitioner in assessing the exact condition of the client or the patient. So, obviously, the scanning procedures are to be done with the Bible application only. You cannot use any other application to do the scans. You are doing the scanning procedure here. And the rule in our interpretation part, in our application part, is that you have to take minimum 3 scans. Now, there has been some discussion during our training programs. We would have guided you that you have to take 2 scans, then you do some exercise, or you ask the patient to do some activities, and then you take 2 more scans, and then you compare these 2 scans to see the changes, or you can get to know the weak areas of the particular patient or a client. Now, in an application, when we are looking at a scan, why do we insist on 3 scans? And this is not after exercise. This is not. I'm getting into it. Yeah. So this is not after exercise. 3 scans you have to perform consecutively. First scan, take the second scan, and take the third scan. Right? Now, what is the benefit of that? Number one, you all know, no 2 scans of Bible is alike. There is deviation, there are changes, and there are particular reasons why you are having those changes. So, the first scan, when you take, is a superficial information, and usually the second and third scan becomes a deep information, what you get from the tissues. So, always remember, take 3 scans. Now, you want to do some exercise, some therapy. After that, repeat 3 scans. Point number 1. Because the first scan is always the electrons or the information or the response is taken from the surface. The second and third scan or subsequent scans take the information from deeper tissues, which are more stable. You can all check this. When you take the first scan, you have too much of variability, but the second and third scan becomes more stable when compared to the first scan. Plus, when you look at the probability, for example, you take two scans. In one scan, you find that sympathetic system is active by whatever percentage. In the second scan, you find that parasympathetic system is active. Now, when you look at the probability, it becomes 50-50. How do you say, how did the patient or the client's autonomic nervous system shifted from sympathetic to parasympathetic? What was the condition which it happened? In 1 second, how it can happen? What was the condition which brought about these changes? So probability will become 50-50. So for us to get a proper probability, you need to have 3 scans. So sympathetic system, if it is repeated in 2 and 1 you have parasympathetic system, you know the fluctuation what is happening. So hence a custom rule is you have to have 3 scans. And all of you remember that these 3 scans should be performed only after proper calibration. If you do not calibrate and you take a 3 scan, software or the application will simply reject it, saying that the calibration was not done. Calibration is a very, very important procedure and we have taken it very seriously, and it has to be done at least on the same day. If you're taking 3 scans today, it should be done today. But the rule says that it's always better you perform a calibration before scanning a client. If you have multiple clients, then obviously we take multiple scans, there is no problem. But if there is atmospheric change, you all know about this. If there is atmospheric change or humidity changes, then you will have to recalibrate. So calibration is given very, very much importance, and it has to be done, without which you are not going to get good data, and without good data you cannot furnish a very good report, right? Now this is a preliminary part what you're going to do. Now our application comes into picture. How does it work? It works under 2-tier system. It's called as 2-tier system. Means first you have your Bible data in your Bible, right? Now what are the different ways in which it can be exported? It can be exported as a PDF, you all know about it, but which has very less information. So you can come to report here, isn't it? You can in fact put them to compare and then take a report. You get the report of all the 3 scans. But the information or the data which is being supplied is very, very less. You cannot rely on that PDF. Okay, then there is an Excel form in the CSV format. You can export it. See, I take 3 scans, I simply put them on compare, right? And then when I come to compare, I immediately have export to CSV, right? This export to CSV creates a CSV, comma separated value file. And once you have that file, what happens is you have to upload it to GPT, and GPT will take some time to read it. Plus the parsing, we call it as parsing, means every line has to be read, and then it has to do the calculations. It has to do our calculations, what is required for our reporting, and then it has to give the interpretation, which makes enormous amount of tokens taken in GPT, which is very difficult to do. It is slow. Sometimes the parsing is not correct, so it may miss the data also, which is not reliable. There is a third way in which data can be taken from Bible, which normally is not practiced in any centers or normal practitioners. They don't know about it. So other than these 2 ways, there is one more way in which we can get the Bible data, and that is by introducing JavaScript, JS file. So to do this, every individual who purchases the application is provided with the customized JavaScript. You will be having a JS file which is there in a Google Drive link. So you will be provided with a Google Drive link. Click on that. In that folder you have something called as a JS file, which is a JavaScript file. What is this file? This file works with this particular application of Bible to extract the data, to take the necessary data what is required for us, do the necessary calculations, and then provide us with the output value. So we need to require the output value in a particular format. Are we able to understand this? So that format is very important. There is no point in simply putting all the values like a table. What is the point in that? There is no use. It's already there. But we have taken 3 scans, and the most important calculations which are done is calculating the reproducibility of the variation. Whether it is an imbalance, whether it is energy related variations, what is the reproducibility in the different sections? You take sectors, meridians, chakras, quadranalysis, you have Ayurveda, right? So all of them, they are going to do this particular internal calculations and give us the output value. What is the benefit? The benefit is it can be done in, I can say, 1/10th of a second, 1/10th of a second, 0.6 seconds it can be done. How to do this? All of you can try on your Bible application. You select 3 scans, please. Users of our application, users of our system, please pay attention. First thing, you have to calibrate and make 3 scans, and then you select these 3 scans. You have to just select them. And for you, if you don't know how to select 3 scans, you select one, hold the shift button and select the third. If you find it difficult, select one, hold the command or control button, select the second, select the third, right? So selection of 3 is very, very important, and it should have been downloaded. Sometimes you may see when you click on any particular scan, it is still downloading. So allow it to download. Are you able to see this? Are you able to understand? Then you use Command C or Control C. Control C on Windows, Command C on Mac. We use Command C or Control C, and when you use that, what happens? There is a console which opens like this. It's a console. It's called as a Java console. Built-in Bible application. You have this Java console. And now you're seeing some text on the top. Don't worry about it. Now it will be blank in your system because you have not loaded the JavaScript file. So this is a very, very important procedure. How do you load it? First thing, download it from your Google Drive. We cannot give it as an attachment in Gmail because Gmail will simply reject it, saying that it is a malware. It is, of course, it is there to extract the data, but from the application, not from your email. So Gmail doesn't allow this, but that's the reason why we have put it in Google Drive, and we are giving you a secured folder to download. Now once you download, you have to click this button, second button, open, right? What is this? You have to click this second button, open. Now once you open, you will have your package downloaded. For example, let me take my package which is downloaded, and then you get something like MGF analysis v7.js, MGF analysis v7.js. You will be having this file in your folder. You have to click this folder, click this file and say open. This has to be done only once. You don't have to repeat it every now and then. It's to be done only once, but please secure the JS file safely. It can be done on any number of systems you have, any number of systems. There is no problem. What is the lock? Calibration should be done. Without calibration, this JavaScript is going to reject the data. And then once you have done this, you simply say run all. At the end, if you see, you have a button called as run, and you have a button called as run all. Run all because you have 3 scans selected now. So you say run all, and you see within 0.6 to 0.5 seconds, you have the output below here. If you can see in the output window, you have all the necessary data which has been extracted in a given format for us. Can you see this? Now, all that what you're supposed to do is right click, select all, or if you're well versed with keyboard, Control A or Command A to select all the data, Control C to copy, or right click and simply say copy. Anything you want you can do. Do you get this? So this is how we are extracting the data, because we want the data calculated and in a given format. Now your work with Biovel is completed, right? So we have completed the work with our Biovel application. So now let me just minimize this. Now we are going to do the interpretation by using our application, what we have developed. Now when we say our application, there are some criteria which you have to follow. Point number one, whenever you open our application, okay, let me choose this, a better one. Yeah. So first time users, whenever you open an application, I am showing you on the browser. Same thing is in desktop, and few people having problems in desktop. In Windows, especially in Windows, you should right click and say run as administrator, because we are using the common dialog folder selection, which will not happen if you do not run as an administrator. So simply right click on the app and run as administrator. You can download all the application in our website. Okay, you can come to guasaindia.com and /Biovel. This is a website, okay, which gives all the information about the application also. So you open this website, immediately on the top you see you have downloads. So you click on download, it will take you directly to download, where you can download the application, right? And once you have this application downloaded, what you're going to do? This is an important question. Now I am closing this just to minimize the pages. Okay, now all the practitioners who are using browsers, you are supposed to open the browser application, and this is a app, this is a link which is already shared with you, mgf.biovel.netleafy.app. It's a Biovel application. I mean, it's a MGF Biovel application. So when you click these, first thing what happens is you need to select a folder. Here the folder is already selected, so that's why it's probably not giving us the dialog, but anyhow I can show you this. Okay, there you go. So you see this. So when you open first, it's going to ask for a report storage folder. Now what we have done in this application is, in this particular system, now you know that all your Biovel data is stored in the cloud. Every time you open Biovel, the data is extracted from the cloud, it comes to your system, and then it is shown on the interface. That is a procedure every time. Few cases, around maybe around 50 to 100 cases you may have in a temporary cache, but majority of them, when you have thousands of cases with you, they are in the cloud, they are not on your system. Now you see, when you do an interpretation, now it is not something, you know, like data. It's not something like numbers. It is interpretation what is happening, and that interpretation is a report what you're giving to the patient, which should be saved. And to save that, we choose, instead of cloud, save it in the local computer of the practitioner. That is a data security. So we don't want anything to come to cloud. So where the folder should be saved, where the report should be saved, this is the question this first screen asks. It says select the report storage folder. So if I want to select I can select any folder on my system where my reports are going to get saved. For example, I say select report folder, and here this is the folder usually I use for saving all my patients. So I simply say select. Now remember one thing, this is exactly saved on my computer. Nobody has access to this other than me. So it's not going to the cloud. It's in my local computer. How do I archive it? How do I retrieve it? There is a button called as patient archive. Patient archive in the interface. So you click on patient archive, automatically you see all the patients' name there for whom the reports have been generated or interpretation has been done. When you click on them, obviously what all interpretations have been done, that is saved. When you click on any one of them, you know exactly what is the interpretation which had been done to the patient, to that particular individual on that particular day. So everything is saved on your computer. You can retrieve at any time you want. Right? Now, patient retrieval is additional application what we did, wherein we were able to generate a tremendous amount of interface for retrieval of the cases. So many people came, I want this report, I want that report. When you want to compare two reports without retrieval, how is it possible? So comparing two reports became very easy when we added this patient archive part. Now, after that, it will ask for your name and phone number. You have to give your name and phone number. Your entire authorization code, what you receive to come to this interface of the software, is based on your name and phone number. It is not connected with the hardware. No data is extracted from the hardware. It is only the combination of your name and phone number. The purpose is very simple. You can use it on n number of systems. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to use it on only one system, two system, three. No. Use it on how many ever systems you want. There is no restriction. Every system will ask for authorization code. Yes. The same name, same phone number, you get the same device ID. When you have the same device ID, it's going to require the same authorization code. So there is no problem. You can install and work on multiple systems. And there are centers which have a reception, which have a practitioner, which have other setup, where this same folder can be shared across LAN. And you know, they are using a single folder for all the things. And it works on LAN. That's the best part of it. Now, that's a simple procedure. Anyhow, putting it on LAN is a very simple procedure. We can help you out if you want such a arrangement as well. Now the question is, how do we do the interpretation? Now we are talking about version 3.5. It is a menu driven. For the first time in the history of GPT, you can open any GPT which is available in the GPT store. There is no GPT which has multi-level menu system. It says you click this, you will get the result. You will click this, but there is no multi-level menu system. So we have developed it. We have generated that. That is the reason right now what you're seeing on your screen and the screen what you're seeing here, there is a difference. There is nothing called as BioWell or Ayurveda here. In the old previous version, you had BioWell and Ayurveda. So that is now no more required. There is nothing called as patient friendly or technical reports. Initially it was there in the previous version. Right now you're using. From July 10th, you're going to use this, the latest one. Right? So we have removed that from the interface itself to make it more cleaner, more simpler. Right? Now why? Because the whole thing is going to be handled by GPT. Now how do we proceed? Number one, if the patient is repeated, or if you already have a scan of a patient, the moment I click 3 letters of the patient, please pay attention. The moment I click only 3 letters, you see I have not clicked the full name. Only 3 letters, I get the patient name there. Are you able to see that? I repeat it. You see that? From where is this getting these names? It's coming from the patient archive, which means the patient is already present. You had already taken a scan of this patient, it's already there in the database. So you get a particular patient, so you select the patient, for example, then age obviously, and then the sex. These three are very compulsory parameters. Then now very important is the language, right? So recently I sent a free report generated for one of a practitioner in Dutch, in Belgium. He was in I think Belgium, and he wanted it in Dutch language, so I have created it in a Dutch language. I sent it to him, right? So you can create the report in any language you want. There is no restriction for that, right? So because I am not going to do any translation, the whole report generation will happen in that language. It is not that it's generated in English and then translated, no, right? For example, I would always for a demo purpose I will keep it in English. That is a default language. I'll keep it in English. Now think as a practitioner. As a practitioner, when you want to give some suggestions connected with diet, therapy, right, to the patient, then usually it is connected with age of the patient, sex of the patient, and diet is 100% connected with the location of the patient. You cannot have a patient who is in South India eat a diet of North India. That is maybe not practically possible. So diet suggestions are locked to patient age, patient sex, and the location. By default, the location is connected with the practitioner's address. For example, you are in Germany. You have an address of Germany which is already there in your JavaScript. So your Germany will become the address of Germany will become the location, and your diet will be given according to that location. It is by default it takes. But now you get suppose you get a patient from Japan. You are in Germany. Your software is locked to German, and you want to give a diet suggestion, but the patient is from Japan. How do you do that? So we have made provision where even before the interpretation you can change simply the location. Simply type it as Japan. That's enough. GPT will understand that the diet suggestions, if at all we are providing, it is going to be provided according to Japanese diet, not according to German diet, right? So all that what is required is just type Japan. Or if you know that yes, the diet has to be produced, we have to give a diet to a patient, but I should give a certain diet like keto diet, vegan, or you say a detox diet, simply type it out in that box, whatever you want. If you leave it blank, it's going to be default your location. Whatever you type will be taken as an instruction to the diet scenario, right? So for now, as a demo, we leave it blank. Let it take my location, it doesn't matter. Now, one additional but not a compulsory feature which a BioWell application lacks. In BioWell, see, you take a scan, but it is very difficult to correlate the findings of BioWell with the symptoms of the patient. Only an experienced practitioner can do it. He can say, oh, UB meridian is affected. Do you have so and so symptoms? And if you have so and so symptoms, that is because of the changes what I am observing in UB meridian or kidney meridian for that matter. Right? Very few practitioners can do that. So when a client comes to you, when a patient comes to you, he says that I have a back pain, I have upper back pain, I cannot sleep properly, I have insomnia, I have several different types of psycho-emotional conditions, right? They say something. That's the reason why they come to a practitioner. Now all that we are going to do is type in. You click this, include patient symptoms, type in. Say the patient says headache, type it, no problem. And if he says since, very good. Since 3 days, fantastic, type it. No diagnosis, please. Don't put any diagnosis. Only the symptoms as narrated by the patient. If the patient says, I had back pain, difficulty in walking, write it, difficulty in walking. What is going to happen with this box is, every report you generate, it is going to additionally correlate or cross-check if the symptoms are connected with this finding or not. So every report you generate, it will say, you have narrated that the symptom is so-and-so. We find so-and-so meridians affected, so-and-so deviated in such a way, and that might be, okay, it's not again, rock solid words are not used. That might be a preliminary cause for this symptom. So symptom correlation has been made very strong in the current application of 3.5. Right? So any symptoms patient has, I'm sorry I'm not able to look into these chats, so please do not mind if I don't look into. Okay. Right. So do we have this? So we have some symptoms. You can type in, not one, whatever symptoms you have, whatever symptoms the patient says, you can do that. But again, as I told you, it is optional. You don't need to do it on a regular basis. But usually, if you have a chronic condition where even with medical reports it is not possible to come to a conclusion of what has happened, and then you may have to type in the symptoms. Now, for now, I just remove that. Simple. You just click it, it comes, click it, it goes. That's it. Now the most important box is the patient data box. This is a very, very important box. You know why? Because whatever data you have collected from BioWell, it has to come here. You have to paste it here. Now remember one very important thing, right? I got several questions regarding this, saying that I copied there, but then when I pasted here, there was no data. What is happening is, we have done a very simple work. You come to BioWell, right? You come to BioWell. In BioWell, we did all that Control-C, etc. We got the output, we copied it. Now, immediately after copying it, do not copy anything else, because it is stored in the clipboard. Clipboard can handle only one file. If you do copy something else, then this is erased, right? But for Mac users, I can suggest you for using this application. It is called as Maccy, M-A-C-C-Y, write down, M-A-C-C-Y. This is a very free, where it's not a paid one, it's a freeware, where it stores all the things what you have copied. It stores everything what you have copied. So the clipboard is like enormous clipboard you will have, copying around 200 times copy or 300 times copy. So your copying will never get erased, right? Now you see, I will be using the same thing now, because I opened the patient archive before and I showed you how it's going to show up with the previous scans. The moment you click the previous patient archive and the scan, that data is copied to clipboard, and that's exactly what happened here. You see this clinic name, etc. That's exactly what is copied. I don't want this data to get into my data box, not this. I want the results of BioWell, which is in the second tier there. Can you see that? If you use Maccy, this is going to be very useful. Otherwise, you will have to go back to BioWell and copy it down again and come back here. So I simply click this. So you see all the data from BioWell is now copied into this small box. I don't need to see what it is. Because why we have kept it so small, because there is no point in looking into it. What is it? It's data calculated in a particular structured format, which has been provided in the interface. Now, you have left with only one option. After all this, you can either include biorhythms or you can exclude biorhythms. Biorhythms is an optional pattern. So if you want to include biorhythm, click on this. It will ask for date of birth, and you provide the date of birth, biorhythms will be included in your interpretation. If you don't want to include biorhythms, you can simply leave it as it is, right? You don't need to worry about it. And then straight away you can go in for interpretation now. Now, this is the whole process of collecting the data from BioWell, getting it back to our interface, and pasting the data in this. Now, you are actually going to generate interpretation. Now, this is the latest update what we have generated, and this is called as now MGF Workflow Intelligence Engine. There is no GPT like this, right, anywhere which has been produced. So this is a very well structured GPT what we have, and now there are more than 20 prompts for this GPT. Each GPT will have only one prompt, if you all know, but here it holds more than 20 prompts, and then it does multiple work. Let's look into what all work can be done with this particular GPT. All that what you're supposed to do is simply paste, Control V, or in this box below here, right click and simply paste. What have I pasted? The patient detail. See, in BioWell application, when you copy, there is one drawback. You cannot copy the patient name, age and sex. It is not provided as a data. You know that? It is extracted separately as a JSON file from the cloud when you are generating a report. So it is not possible to extract it from JS file. So that's why in our interface you have added the patient name, age, sex, that is added to the existing data of BioWell, along with language, along with symptoms, along with the diet location if required. So all that is added and a complete interface database is formed. Data is formed, which is now pasted here in the GPT. All that I am going to do is submit it to GPT. See, click on that arrow. It is submitted to GPT. Now you see the interface opens. And it says BioWell data received and stored for this session. It says this session means, again, you don't need to give data. You can generate whatever reports you want. But you don't need to give the data again. It is stored for this particular session. So it is where it is stored? It is stored in the random access memory RAM of your system, right? And GPT uses that very well. And then now you see the data is stored. I have given the data, it is stored. Now it says MGF BioWell Interpretation System version 3.5, AI powered clinical platform, and then it gives you a menu. See there, first one, A1, it says quick summary and recommendations. You see, there is so many menu. Which one you are supposed to use? How do you know which menu is what? How do you know which menu is important for which particular patient? Which report I should take? Should I take a report of chakra? Should I take a report of meridian? Should I take a report of quadra-analysis? What I should take? How do you know? So we don't know. So in the previous version, you were able to generate one full report for patient friendly, one full report for technical, and one Ayurveda reports. If you remember, these are the only 3 reports which are generated. Then you will have to ask questions to generate further reporting. It is not the case here, right? So let's see how the flow goes. The first thing what I recommend everyone to do is simply take a quick summary and recommendations. I will tell you, this has been very useful for me in my practice. See what I have to do with all the changes in the database, you tell me. It's enough for me to understand the summary, hand it over to the patient. This is what the BioWell is looking like. The report is looking like. And then it says recommendations. Recommendation for the practitioner. Which other interpretations you can take from this particular data. Some data you take it will be more valid to take a meridian report. Some data you take, it will be more valid to take a sector report. Some data you take, it is be more valid to take Ayurveda report. So depending on the findings, the AI will guide you which report is to be taken. Now that is your A1 report. When you come to analysis modules, below you see that number 1 is bival interpretation, number 2 is bival interpretation but technical. Now you don't need to click it in the interface now it's in the GPT. Technical. Number 3 will be Ayurveda analysis, and number 4, very important addition, is visual analysis. We have added visual analysis as well in the application now. So we will look into how it is practiced, how it is done one by one. Then you have practitioner modules. What does it say? You don't need to generate any report. Okay? You simply say, give me a protocol recommendation. For this particular bival data, what is the protocol which I have to follow? For that, GPT should know which therapy you are doing. So you know in your JS file, we have added your therapies list, whether it is Ayurveda, whether it is Guasa, whatever you are there. So the list is added there. Based on whatever therapies you are performing, it will simply give you the protocol recommendation. For example, if you are doing a crystal analysis, crystal healing, it will in crystal healing concentrate on this point, this point, this point, this point. If you're doing color therapy, it will say color therapy. If you're doing Guasa, it will say Guasa, terahertz. So protocol recommendations are very useful for a practitioner. Then you have follow-up guidance. It will itself give you where you have to follow up on the patient. Then finally, number 7 is infographic generation. Means you don't need to generate a 20-page report. It generates a beautiful infographics based on all the interpretations you have done. So one single image will give you all the picture of it, right? And below that, number 8 is training, number 9 is help or 24/7 support system. Now, previously in my previous session, Stephanie had given me a suggestion to add a patient companion GPT. Do you remember that, Stephanie? You had asked me to add it.
Yes, I do.
Yes, we have incorporated the patient companion GPT in all the reports now. So
Awesome.
you generate a report, a clickable hyperlink is produced where the patient simply clicks that, it takes to a GPT whose work is to only help the patient understand the report much better. That's it. It's not going to do anything beyond that. Right? And thank you, Stephanie, for that. We have already incorporated. I will show you one by one. Okay? Now, how do you call this menu? Right? And of course, 10 is exit. No doubt about it. Now, remember, after you use it for 5 to 6 times, you know number 1 is bival interpretation, number 4 is visual analysis, number 3 is Ayurveda analysis. You don't need to look into this menu also. Simply put that number, you will get into that menu. For example, if I want to simply do Ayurveda analysis, I simply say 3. What is that? Menu is 3. So I put 3, enter. Now you see, automatically you have Ayurveda submenu. Right? You are going to get the Ayurveda submenu starting with 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, etc. So that's it. So Ayurveda analysis, obviously you can see that 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8. So why 3? Because 3 means you can remember that it is Ayurveda. No numbers are repeating, so there is no problem. 3.1 full Ayurveda report. 3.2 only dosha summary. 3.3 functional tendencies. 3.4 diet direction, very important. 3.5 lifestyle direction based on Ayurveda. Do we get this? Now, after 10 to 15 times I have used this menu, I know that, 3.4 is diet direction. So you don't need to follow. Simply type 3.4. Your diet direction report is generated. You don't need to follow this menu. You don't need to type 3, then come here, then type 3.4. No, directly you type 3.4, you get the report. Similarly, if you want to go back to the same menu, if you want to go back to this menu, then from here, you simply click 0 0 0 0. Why 2 times? Because you remember that you have to jump 2 stages before. 0 0 and then say enter. So you will go back to the first menu. What is the first menu? It says your bival analysis, A1 bival analysis, technical, Ayurveda, visual analysis, etc. So it's going to jump into that menu. You can see there, right? Right, how we had before. Same thing. First one, then we came to Ayurveda, and then back to this. So you can move to and fro in the menu wherever you want, however you want. Still, no report is generated, please. Are we able to get this? So, for you to generate a report, you should click on or you should type in the number of that particular menu. So here, bival analysis modules will have submenu. So under bival you have a submenu, under Ayurveda you have a submenu, under visual you have a submenu. So huge data, huge reports, right? For now, let us take a simple quick summary and recommendation based on the data what we have given. So I simply type A1. What is that? You see the menu number is A1. So I simply type A1 and enter. Right now, what is going to happen is it's going to talking to quasaindia.com. That's a server. It talked, and now you see the report is being generated for summary. All of you are able to see this. The report is being generated and it's in a proper HTML format, and you get the report there. Now this box is called as a code block. It's called as code block. So here you can preview this report, whatever it is generated. You can copy this, take a printout. I will show you each one of these steps, right? And you can also proceed with further reporting. Now I have taken only A1. A1 stands for summary. Got it? Now how to preview? You get a preview button there. Can you see that? Click on preview button. Now it says MGF bival A1 triage summary and recommendations with patient name, age and sex, scan date and analysis ID. Now it says quick interpretation summary. All your data is summarized. The most consistent pattern across all scans is autonomic nervous system imbalance with repeated sympathetic dominance, which may suggest a persistent stress adaptation pattern affecting multiple body systems. Reproducible sector findings involving the liver, gallbladder, urogenital system, immune system, pancreas, thyroid, spleen, ileum, respiratory system and lumbar region indicate that these areas may deserve greater attention than isolated findings. Everything coming from my data. The most interesting point is when you scroll down, it will say symptom correlation. So this symptom correlation adds no patient symptoms were provided with bival data. So direct symptom correlation cannot be performed without that. So that's what it's saying. But if you give a symptom, you have a symptom correlation as well. Then you see below you come, it says priority observations where the practitioner has to look into. Autonomic systems, sector findings, meridians, Ayurveda, lifestyle, chakras, vertebrae and teeth and meridian links. So in all of them, where are you supposed to look into? The details. And below that, very interesting table is generated. You see, it says these are the reports which can become very useful for you to get a detailed analysis or detailed report for a patient. And it also prefixes with the number. You see there 1-6 autonomic nervous system. That is a high priority report which you have to generate for this patient. Similarly 1-3 meridian analysis, 2-3 technical meridian analysis of course, 1-2 sector analysis or 2-2 technical sector analysis. Full Ayurveda report can be taken, 3-2 dosha and 3-3 functional tendencies. So it is suggesting me to take these reports. So let me say, I just want to take the, of course in below also you have certain reports there. anyway. And you see it says suggested workflow. Step 1, generate 1.6 autonomic nervous system report. Generate 1.3 meridian analysis. Now why is it saying this? Because it finds that there is an important evidence which is hidden in that particular data. Now I am enthusiastic to see what is this autonomic nervous system report. So I simply type in 1.6 and then give it to GPT. Now again it will go to server, right? Communicate with the server. There you go. Communication started. Talk to server, and now your another report is getting generated, and this time it is autonomic nervous system report. And remember that this is going to become one of the continuous flows. So you can take the preview of this, same thing comes, but now you see it's autonomic nervous system analysis. A very difficult analysis to perform with bival. So all three bival scans demonstrated a reproducible pattern of sympathetic dominance, making this one of the highest confidence findings in the assessment. Now it says, of course, personalized response. So all the details pertaining to that, wellness observations, advanced wellness supports, etc. So it gives you a beautiful preview. But the question is, how do you take a report of this? For example, if I want to take a report of this, this is the code block. Now all that what you're supposed to do, like how you were doing in the previous sessions, click on copy. You see there? Okay, all of you, can you observe this copy? Click on that. Come back to your application. Simply say generate report and then say okay, it is saved. There you go. You have a beautiful report which is generated with the autonomic nervous system analysis. And now you can right click, print and save it. You say print, then a dialog box opens, so you can save it as PDF and you can give it to the patient as well, right? So that's one report. If you want a second report, for example, you come here. Okay, previously I had one more report generated. This is summary. So I'll come back to code, copy this, copy, come back to my application, generate report. Okay, there you go. AI triage summary and recommendations report. Are you able to get this? Now, after this summary and report, for example, I'm very interested to now get protocols. So which protocols should I follow? Right? I don't know. If I know the menu, I can type in the number and immediately I get the protocol. But for me to display the main menu, it is 00. 00 is for main menu, 0 is for active menu, sub menu. So I say 00. Now I will get the main menu. I know it is number 5, but still, just to show you, this is you see MGF bival, the same menu which started, and you have number 5 protocol recommendation. Very powerful, interpretation support you get from this based on bival details. So I simply type 5, enter, and now I am going to generate a protocol recommendation report. Look at that. I tell you, this is the best part of the application. As a practitioner, it gives me a fantastic protocol which is generated. There you go, MGF protocol recommendations based on the therapies what I've taken. See, available therapies from input, Guasa therapy, terahertz and bival scan. Based on that, it will give you a complete detailed analysis of where you are supposed to do. You know that autonomic regulation was the prime. So it says Guasa therapy, cervical, thoracic, lumbar support, may support autonomic balance and address reproducible cerebral correlations. Now, stress response, relaxation capacity and energy stability. So you know why you have to perform this, at which location, target area or system. So you have the complete details of that right here. Along with that, I should also produce a diet chart, right? There are 2 diet charts you can produce based on BioL, based on Ayurveda. And you know, in Ayurveda, when you went to the menu, we saw that Ayurveda diet was somewhere around 3.5, if I'm not wrong. I can get scroll up. I can also go back to the menu just to show you. This Ayurveda report here, you see, 3.5 is lifestyle direction, 3.4 is a diet direction. Diet direction is 3.4, Ayurvedic diet direction. So I don't need to go back to that menu. You don't need to go back. Simply type 3.4. There you go. Now you are generating a report for Ayurvedic diet. Again, goes to server, takes the information, and then there you go. The Ayurveda diet report is getting generated. This diet is, as I told you, based on age of the patient, sex of the patient, location, and based on the bioval findings. So you see this preview, you'll see, there you go, general information, foods, vegetables, fruits, drinks, meal timing, spices, hydration, everything. What you're supposed to do, favorable and avoid. It's giving in the list. And then you can always come down for practical dietary guidance. Then it gives you a disclaimer, of course. So disclaimer is there in every report. Now you want to give the patient this report, the diet report, copy, come back to the application, simply generate report and say, okay, your diet chart is ready. There you go. You can save it as a PDF and you can give it to the patient so he may follow this diet chart for himself. Now most important is, you see, I have not added the data, right? I have not added the data anywhere. Now already you are generating full bioval scans, full technical bioval scans and Ayurveda scans. How do you do that? Come back to the same menu and then now in the same menu, when you have come back, we will see bioval interpretation. Click number 1, most important interpretation what we do. So bioval interpretation I go. Under bioval interpretation, if you see, you have full interpretation report, sector analysis, meridian analysis, chakra analysis, diet and lifestyle guidance again, autonomic nervous system, and return to main menu. Now remember, you know that this is patient friendly report. If you want technical report, you have to go to menu number 2. You see, you have two types of bioval reports. Bioval interpretation, patient friendly, and this bioval interpretation is technical, clearly technical. Now let's say I want to generate a simple full report, which I used to do previously. That was more enough for me. Simply type 11, enter. That's it. So automatically what will happen? It's going to talk to server, and the same report what you are generating right now is being generated, right? And this becomes your full report for bioval. So there is no limit. You can perform as many activities as you want, right, from this menu driven GPT. Now remember one very important thing. What we have done is, why such breakups are given. I will give you one simple example. Please look at this full menu which is generated. You are all happy with this, I know. But let's see, why is this menu driven more important for me. I come to a strong section like meridian table, complete meridian table. And then you see meridian interpretation. How many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 points have been generated. 6 points have been generated. And then you have the teeth meridian validation, vertebral meridian correlations, and quadra table and quadra meridian calculations along with chakras, etc. So you see, are you able to see this? So this is giving you a summary, right? I want more about this. I want to know more. This is what is happening is, every report generated has a certain amount of token. It's called as token in GPT language. So for a pro account, it is different. For a plus account, it is different. For a free account, it is different. Now our purpose is to generate the report for all these accounts. Even if you are having a free account, you don't need to go in for a Go or a plus account. But if you have Go and plus account, it is good. But even with a free account, you can generate a report. What is be the difference is, the tokens allotted per reporting is different. That is not done by us, it is done by GPT itself. So what happens in pro account, you may get an elaborate report. In free account, that may get truncated, right? The report may be just one line. But if you go to plus account, it may be more in detail. So instead of that, we have made it menu driven. In menu driven, what happens? Now you saw this. This is the meridian analysis. I just want to show you one example. Meridian table and meridian interpretation. We saw this. Now you see, I go back to the same menu and I will generate a separate meridian analysis. 1, 3. Separate meridian analysis, and let's see what happens. I separate. Now you see, I've given meridian analysis now. And now again the same process. It goes to the server and comes back. And now it's going to generate a detailed meridian analysis. And let's see the difference of what it has generated before and what it is generating now. Right? So it's all based on tokens, okay? So you don't need to much worry technically about it, but you should know this, right? Now this is what is generated for meridian analysis. I already showed you for full what it has generated. Now if I play this, look at the preview. I have the same table. Table is not changed. The table is same, but look at the meridian interpretation. Now, you see, can you see this difference? Liver and gallbladder, the strongest reproducible imbalance. Physically, this may be associated with adaptation, digestion, metabolic regulation, flexibility in handling daily demands. Emotionally, it may reflect frustration, accumulation. So, a particular meridian, what it can do physically, what it can do emotionally. It is added, and you see all that based on Bible findings. This is nowhere seen in the full report what we generated. This is all what it's giving. Right? Of course, it is solar timing, what is calculated in both of these reports. So without solar timing, it cannot calculate. So solar meridian timing, very important. We have studied this in our advanced certification course. And here you see, what is the timing in Mysore region? Clearly mentioned Mysore region. How did it know that it's in Mysore? Local, my address it has taken. So approximately 12:28. And when have you taken the scan? What is the offset? Is 28 minutes. When was the scan performed? Based on that, which one is active, which one is weak? You have the solar meridian timing, and then teeth meridian validations, etc. Vertebra meridian correlations. You have this, and quadra meridian analysis. So you get a separate segment for meridian analysis, right? Now, after all this, I also want to correlate with the visual analysis. Now this is very important. It is, you see, there is one menu which says visual analysis. Number 4 is visual analysis. If you see this, number 4 is visual. Some cases you may see really the fingers impressions are not good. They are not at all good. So you need to perform a analysis of that image of the finger. So you have number 4, visual analysis. So I just click number 4 now to get into the visual analysis, and then it says what you want in visual analysis, right? You want full visual analysis or executive summary, top findings, reproducibility or symmetry. What exactly are you looking at? Let me say I want full, so 4.1. So I want a full visual analysis. Now it's going to ask me, first of all, it's going to connect to the server and then take the information from the server, right? Information means the prompt. And then you see what it's asking. Please upload the original black and white BioL finger images of all 10 fingers from all 3 scans. Now what does that mean? It means that you come to BioL, right? Come to BioL, and we had these 3 cases, isn't it? These are the 3 cases which we selected for this particular demo. So here you come to your fingers, right? Save this image. Click once, save it. Let me put it in desktop as say 1. Save. There's a second one. I say click, put it as 2 and save, and come here, select this, put it as 3 and save, right? So now I have saved all these 3 images. All that I'll do is I'll attach it to the GPT. So I'll just say scan 1 to scan 3. I have just attached it, right? Now it uploads the image and then I will hand it over to GPT. Now let's see what it does. There you go. The visual analysis has started. In no seconds, it will read all these images, find out the symmetry, find out the glow. Every definition is provided to it. It knows everything and it gives you a beautiful, yes, visual analysis. 3 bival visual scans were reviewed. The corona patterns demonstrate generally good image quality, moderate to high reproducibility, and preserved overall energetic continuity. There is no break. The most consistent visual findings involve, look at that, liver, gallbladder, kidney, bladder, urogenital, thyroid, and respiratory related sectors. The same thing is correlating with our meridian analysis. The same thing is correlating with our Ayurveda. Do we get this? So what are the top 5 findings? I don't want everything to be enumerated. I want the top 5 findings. How did it find top 5? If it is repeated in all the 3 scans, then it is the highest reproducibility what is there, which means that is the most prominent part which we have to look into. So top 5 findings: highly reproducible corona irregularities involving liver, gallbladder territories across all 3 scans. Repeated kidney, bladder related corona reduction patterns with soft, strong left and right consistency. So you have these 5 findings. Reproducibility ratings means, high means what? Multiple findings are visible across all 3 scans. The overall corona structure remains. One minute please. Hello? ಕೊಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೇಲಿ. ಹೌದು ಕೊಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೊಡಿ. Is it clear? And then it gives you the dominant pattern categories, overall visual impression, and combined summary report. Now combined summary report, what it's going to do is, it's going to take all the reports you have generated before and it's going to combine it, and it's a liver, gallbladder involvement, kidney, bladder patterns, urogenital tendencies, stress adaptation patterns, and autonomic imbalance are reinforced by visual findings and bival analytical data. So it correlates the two and it says yes, it's also found in visual analysis, not just in parametric analysis. And what are the bival only findings? Visual only findings. Then you have root cause correlation. I told you before, it's going to do this. Both systems consistently support a pattern involving stress adaptation, recovery regulation, liver, gallbladder function, kidney, bladder pathways, and overall autonomic regulation. So which means that I'm getting a very confident report saying that yes, in 3 scans this is what exactly has happened, and then you have to correlate this with the symptom of the patient. Again, how do you take a report of this? Same, you just copy, go back to report, take the report. So you have the visual analysis with you, right? You come here, generate report. Okay, there you go. You can now take a printout or save it as PDF. Got it? Now after all these, at the end I will say I have to generate a infographic data preparation. Infographic data preparation. Can you see that? Number 4-6 data preparation, or directly you can generate an infographic image. Let me do that. So let's go back to our MGF Bible Interpretation 3.5 and you see number 7, infographic generation. Infographic generation. So I simply say number 7 and give this. And this is a very valuable data. I can tell you very valuable information. Number 7, did I exit by any chance? Sorry. Okay, what was number 7? Infographic generation. So that there seems to be a bug there. We'll correct it. Yes, it is exiting the engine. um, so I think we'll proceed with infographic. We'll need to correct it. Infographic generation, we will correct that anyway. So we will come to visual analysis number 4, and probably we can generate what is called as infographic data preparation. So number 4.6, right? And with this, what happens is it is going to generate the data. What is required for a layout is generated basically for an infographic image, right? And of course, infographics we will be correcting. There is a small bug there. It's not calling the GPT, it's calling it's exiting the file. So this is a data which will be created for your infographic presentation, and you have all the sectors, whatever you have seen, everything is enumerated, highlighted here, and you have the data which is going to be generated and converted into an image. So unfortunately, number 7, infographic generation, is the GPT is the prompt probably is not connected. So we need to just reconnect this to our prompt. We may require just a minute. If I can do it, I will do it right now. Just a minute, please hold on. Right, so this is exactly how we are going to generate the menu driven GPT, and all your reports can be generated and saved accordingly. Okay, number 7. Okay, I need to come to number 7, right? Where is number 7? Number 4001. Okay. Okay, there is a mistake here, so I will just correct that mistake so that we can that's the issue. So 1 minute, I will just correct it. I can change it later, I believe. So for now we make it like this. That's it. So close. Anyway, I have corrected the system. So now let's see if it can generate an infographic. Right, so because this one I wanted to show you, it's okay, we may have to open a new chat. We'll do that. So quickly I will just refocus. I'll just close this, generate interpretation again. Okay, I'll just bring back your focus onto the GPT what I'm doing so that you can see this. Now I am just restarted the GPT again so that the menu was changed. Anyway, let's see what if it works now. So I simply say 7 infographic generation. Yes, now it's working, so it's going to the server, and but of course the image what will be created will be very minimal information because you don't have much of the information. So you should generate this at the end after all your reporting is done. Okay, so that it becomes a beautiful generated infographic for you at the end. Right now, one thing I wanted to demonstrate after this, it is generated. So let's give GPT some time for it to generate this image. As such, it doesn't have any information on the top, but with general information it's going to generate infographic for the same patient. Okay, I am not changed the patient. There was a problem, there was a small bug which I just corrected. Did we get it? So one last tweak. Okay, some interesting cases you can generate for if you want to give some presentations and for any of such purposes, you will be able to generate such infographics. Okay, and meanwhile you can also generate other reports when it's being generated, like you can find a diet chart, Ayurveda diet chart, and you can go ahead with the menu anyway. But let's wait for this to complete now, and meanwhile you can ask any questions if you have, so that of course before that this particular version will be available from July 10th, right? So I am launching it globally on July 10th, and every existing user, it will be automatically changed for you in the browser. For your desktop, obviously you will have to download the updated application and install. That's it. Your JS file will change, so because it requires the vertebra, teeth data to be incorporated in it, Ayurveda, vertebra and teeth. So your JS files will be placed in your respective drives, Google Drives. You can download them by 9th of July. It will be available. You can download whenever you want. You already have the authorization for the Google Drive. So your updation will be completely done. For existing users, it's going to be free of cost, and for new users, obviously it will be with this particular version what you're going to get, right? And July 10th, up to July 10th, the pricing of this application is pricing of this system is placed at $250 US dollars, and from July 10th it's going to be $450 US dollars. Okay, this is our infographic which is generated. So you can see an incomplete infographic because we don't have anything before this. So just to show you how it incorporates the previous readings, we can generate a simple Ayurvedic diet chart. But directly I put the number. I don't even go into the menu. I know the menu numbers now. So directly I put into the number. So it's talking to server. It will make a interpretation of the diet. You see, a diet interpretation is done. Right? Now after this interpretation, or even I can perform a full bival scan interpretation. Now after this, if I want, I can also produce a full bival scan interpretation. There you go. So I know the numbers, so I'm just typing in the numbers and immediately it's going to the active submenu is this. Okay, 1 belongs to bival interpretation menu, not the active. Okay, so you come out of this and then type 1. There you go, probably 1. Now I'm getting into the active submenu there, right? And then I simply type 1 and generate a full report. right? So let me have this full report generated, then I will regenerate the infographic. So you will see the difference what the GPT has done to the infographics. Have we completed that? And Stephanie, just you can see we have given the link there. Can you see the link? Patient Companion GPT. It's already there in the link. Okay. So now I would like to
Yes.
regenerate the infographic again, so that I want to just see if GPT is incorporating these findings, what we have generated. Again, I have to go back. It's a hierarchy, what it says. Okay. Number 7 is my infographic. So I just click on that and say enter. So I want to generate one more infographic just to see how GPT performs it. So you see it's creating an image now, similarly like before, but before image I have already, where it went. There you have, this is a before image which was generated. Okay, infographic generation. Now after this we have done some analysis, we have done some reporting, and let me see what type of infographic is generated now. Usually it will be generated with the you know analysis what we have done in the top, right? So let's wait for it to complete. Okay, meanwhile I'll put my system to charging. Oh my goodness, my laptop may sleep anytime. I neglected that. Right. So did we complete it? It's charging now. Yeah. So infographic data is not generated. So this is what does it say? Okay, you need to, oh, it's giving me a menu itself. So what I want, complete infographic repeat, executive summary infographic, sector analysis, etc. So I can type in this menu and I can get the complete infographic what is required, right? So we have made it as simple as possible with the main reward of it. Most of it is the summary what we are going to take, and obviously the meridian analysis and Ayurvedic analysis, diet charts which we are going to produce, protocol recommendations which are very powerful menu with the data what we have. And once the session is completed, you can simply close this. But remember, you are already logged in. So this particular chat will be available for you always in the chat history. You come to chat history below. There you have Bible data interpretation. It will always be available for you for a review, right? So that's why you should always you should log in and take the reports. Okay, and then you have all the reports generated here, so you're ready for your next patient. So this is how we are going to generate um, the reports from Bible, right? Obviously, we have our 24-hour help. 24 by 7 help is always provided so that you can you can have any doubts which can be solved by GPT can help you in solving those problems, and obviously uh, you know um, you can perform as many cases as you want. You have a lifetime update free. So we are going to update it on a very regular basis with all the things what is required for our clinical practice, right? For those of you who have purchased, and we have already sent in the authorization code, it will be in an email. So you find any difficulty, you can always sign in for a one-on-one Zoom session with me, where I can guide you step by step how to proceed with your report generation, right? So that's about the demo. So you have any doubts, I can clarify them. On the general report, we have your business. Yeah, that's one more very important question. Very good. The logo, clinic name, clinic address is all customizable. So it will be customized to your address, your name, right? It's all there in the JS file. So it's going to take it from the JS file. Logo you can select on your own. So it is not our logo. Our logo you are seeing because we are using our system. So it is completely customized, and you can have your own branding, you can have your own logo on the reports. Any questions, please? How much time between each of the 3 Bible scans? No, you can take it consecutively, immediately, one after another. There is no time gap required. One after another, you take 3 scans. And if you are connecting your system wirelessly, then obviously that will be much better, right? Yes, Kamalji?
Sir, unfortunately, I joined timely, but there was heavy rush of clients, so I could not fully concentrate on this session. Sir, is it possible to get recording of this?
Yeah, we will give.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Dr. Fozia?
Good evening, sir. Thank you for explanation. Doctor, at times I find the report is too technical for patient to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, through what my experience doing this report, when it talks about all the meridian numbers, everything, the patient gets so confused, and then keep on asking me technical issues. So how can we provide something very simple to patient so that they can understand their condition and the solution for their problem
That's
instead
the
of going too
that's
deep
a
detail?
that's a exact reason why we have created the summary. So your software will be updated, and you will be able to give the summary. So give the summary. It doesn't have any tables in it, and it will give exactly what the findings are, and that's more than sufficient. And even after that, if the patient is having doubt, then we have now created a GPT patient companion link as well in the report, so they can click that, they can ask whatever questions they have to the GPT, so they will not trouble you. Is it clear?
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
Yes, yes. Any other doubts, please? So doubt is coming in the chat. Yes. Not it. Okay. Yes. So yes, we got it. Can we use the summary straight away, or we need to generate reports? No, summary straight away. A1. That's the first thing what you need to do. You don't need to generate other reports and take the summary. A1 is the first one. Can you correct my JS file? It's first. See, when you have this JS file is linked to your address, right? Which means you may have one clinic, right? But you are the owner of it, you are the practitioner of it, so your JS file will hold one clinic name. If you want a subsequent, suppose for example you have one more clinic, the name is different. You understand? Say for one clinic you might have kept A1, for one more clinic you might have kept B1. See, these are two different organizations. So though you are the same practitioner. So here what happens is we can work out something, and we can see to it that we can generate, we'll have to generate two JS files for you. In one JS file, it is not possible to incorporate two businesses. That will create the reporting very bad, right? So it becomes a very complex situation where you will need to sit and select your clinic every time. So two JS files will need to be generated. So you can discuss with our foundation. I just need one removed. Wow, that is very easy. If by mistake there are two, we can remove one very easily. There is no problem at all. That's not a problem. How can we purchase the system? Where can we find the link for the purchase? Okay, see, it is a PayPal link what we'll be sending you, right? So you can simply put a message to us on this WhatsApp number below. I have put it in the chat window, or you can write a simple email to meridiangosam@gmail.com. So we will be able to reply you with all the details what you want. And also, I also request you, send 3 scans of yours. Okay, send 3 scans of yours to BioWell2. My ID is BioWell2. So if you send 3 scans of yours to my BioWell ID and fill up the requisition form for your free report, I can also provide you with the link for that. So I will generate a report. Please specify me which report you want, what type of report you want. You should specify, and the language, which language report you want. So I can generate and send it to you. Have a preview of it. Have a look into it, and then you can definitely go ahead with the purchase after that. So once you're satisfied with it, then go ahead with the purchase after that. You have time up till 10th where you can take it at $250. So you have plenty of time for that, right? So the link for you to send the request for free GPTs is, I'll put it in the chat window. Please copy it down so that Sorry. There you have. I put the link as well. So that's fine. You're Dubai. Be careful, Yogi ji. Even if you're disconnected, no problem. Don't pay fine there. Okay, and concentrate on road when you're driving. That's more important. I will post the recording in the group so you can always look into it. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the session and understanding the basics of how to proceed with the report generation. Even after this, you have doubts, I am always available. Not 24 by 7, of course. So I will be able to help you by connecting myself through Zoom one on one. That will be the easiest way of connecting, right? Thank you very much, all of you.